Hello again, it's Ryan Starr from the Rabbit Canadian YouTube channel. Today we're going to be scrapping out a Powershot Canon A95 camera. I got this out of one of my pickups for scrap. There was like 3 cameras in this. One still works, so I might be using that in the future until I can get a better camera. And the other one was like an old 8mm film camera. It didn't work anymore. I wish I would have taken that one apart because it had some of the best gold plating on anything I've ever seen. So I may show you that a little bit later, what I got out of that. Powershot A95. And let's get started. Okay, so I got my screwdriver handy, so we'll start taking out some screws. I don't know how long this scrap is going to be. It took me quite a while to scrap out that old camera, but like I said, I think it'll be worth it. Go around and don't be a pain. Remove all the screws. That you find. A lot of times it'll be hidden in these compartments, but not this time. Make a liar out of me. Okay. Now this camera does not actually work. Well, it almost works. The camera is very blurry. There was a recall on this model. What, in 2007, 2006? So, like I said, doubt I'll be able to get it fixed, even if I could. And I'm more interested in scrapping it out anyway. Got a couple more screws here. Tiny screws. And another screw. Okay, so this is just plastic, so we can get that out of the way into the plastic pile. Now, just because I am scrapping this out, there could be some things that you can get out of this board that you could use for repair parts that you could probably sell online on eBay. I'm not really interested in selling parts or anything like that. I may get into it. I've never really sold anything on eBay. I'm thinking I did in my last pickup get a set of 3 Panasonic house phones that I may end up trying to sell on eBay for a couple of extra bucks. But I may not. Depends on how the job hunt goes. I don't need the money, I probably won't. If I do, I probably will. I'll try to keep this video as short as possible and as informative as possible. A lot of videos I've been doing lately, there haven't been a lot of really good gold recovery items. So I just basically go around and basically put ads out on Kijiji or something like that to offer to pick up e-waste so it can be recycled. which I do. Like I said, I just compartmentalize it a little bit first, separate it into its components like steel, things like that. And if you wanted to just sell boards directly to like boardsort.com, it seems like they're aluminum, you can do that as well. Hoping this will be a little bit better, but we shall see. So we shall get the pry tool that I'm using, pry off some more of the case. Another screw there. Yes, like I said, the downside of these electronics is especially like cameras and things like that, it's usually about 1.5 billion screws, and it is a little time consuming, but when you're not working, that can be a good thing. Got a little speaker in there. Just give that a pop out. Trying to keep my work area clean. Plastic. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Aluminum. Now this we got a little bit gold plating, and when I do get some extra money, the first thing I will be buying is a new camera. Like I said, it's very faint. Looks at this is non-magnetic. I don't know if it's gold plated, but I'll set it aside just in case. Plastic. Useful. Okay. I missed a screw. Plastic. Just separate it a bit. Getting down to the guts of the beast. Okay, we got the silver looking tabs on the cord there. That's what I like to see. Mostly plastic, a little bit of metal in there. But as you'll see, God, my camera sucks. These are gold-plated pins. You can remove those for gold recovery. Can't tell if the little pins in there are gold or not, but they may be as well. Okay. LCD screen. Okay. Wire stripper, but has a little area where you can cut wire. Insulated wire. And mostly plastic. That'll be steel. And the lens, I might be able to find something I can use for that future project. So when we get all out of this, we got the little lens. Okay, set that aside. Okay, we got a nice 330 volt, 130 what? Microfarad, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. Can't read that. Okay, we also got another tiny little, looks like transformer or a copper coil. We got an MRCC on the back, plus a little on this little circuit board not a whole lot there. On this, we have a tiny copper bearing motor. You can rip that off, put that in the copper bearing motor pile. There's the plastic. You can have some, these tabs on here are silvery color, so there's a good chance those are silver plated. And the rest is just ribbon wire. That can go in your insulated wire. Flat pack. Not flat pack, freaking ribbon wire. We have some gold plating on this circle-y thing here. Some gold plating on the end of the ribbon wire. On there. God, I gotta get a new camera. This sucks so bad. And some gold plating at the end of the tip there. And this little button switch on the end of here may have some silver in it or gold. Okay, and again, this is the, I think it's called the CCD sensor. And if my camera was better, you would see gold plating along here and here. And you got the silver colored connectors there, so maybe plated silver. You got a tiny bit of wire. Again, we got the gold plated pins that can be removed for gold processing. And it does look like these tiny pins in here are gold as well. Okay, silvery connector there. And possible tiny gold pins in there. Two little copper bearing motors, where you just basically whip them off and put them in your copper bearing motor pile. Another ribbon cable with silver looking connectors. Does mean they are, but we can always hope. Now chances are this is where one of the ribbon wires plugged in right there. Chances are there's going to be a little bit of gold in there, and all these would be the switches for the camera. Those probably have a little bit of silver in them as well. Don't see much more on that one. Now on this board, you may be able to see the gold plating around here and at the bottom there. We got something bearing copper in there. And if I'm not correct, that little black box in front of my finger here, right there, is a tantalum capacitor. Pretty sure. And you got some MRCCs that are good for palladium and silver recovery. They're super tiny, but per weight they have a pretty good palladium and silver recovery rate. And when I get all that stuff removed, I can process the board for the silver plating on the board. Plus you got some gold pins in this connector here. Looks like an audio jack of some sort. And the mini USB will have some gold pins in there as well that can be removed for gold processing. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, so on this board, I think is the main one, we got some gold pins in here, probably in here and here as well, and these connectors, most likely, with a little battery. I don't know if it's a lithium or silver cell, and we'll look that up, but silver cell, obviously you'll get some silver out of there. If it's lithium ion, you send it off to get recycled at wherever you can get them recycled. We got a BGA chip here. Basically all a BGA chip is, see this really small one there, you can see legs, or normally you would. On that has legs on all four sides. That's a flat pack. If it has legs on two sides, it is an IC chip. And if you can't see any legs, it means there's little balls underneath. That means it is a BGA chip. And I got what? Two BGA chips on this side and one on this side. They usually have some gold and silver recovery on those. Got some nice MRCCs on there. And pretty sure these little black ones are the tantalum capacitors as well. And if you were able to see well, you can see little gold plating on all these little circles. Am I missing anything? More than likely. And a buttload of uber tiny screws. Now just a little bit of comparison. These are just a couple of the things I took out of the old 8mm camera. And if this was a better camera, you'd see that the gold plating on this is really thick. I was actually quite surprised. These are pretty much gold plated all the way over, so these are some of the better ones out of that. Again, another piece of gold plated. And I think they're comparable. So you got the gold plating on this. And like I said, that is actually pretty good for a lot of gold plating you see nowadays. And you got this board, which I think, I'm not 100% sure because I really don't know about cameras, is comparable in the older camera. And if I had a better camera, I'd show you, like I said, it is quite thick on there. So older equipment tends to have more gold in it because they weren't as good as plating as they are today. And it's better they get at it, the less they have to use. So that is the scrapping of a Powershot A95 digital camera. And that it's like not a whole lot in there, but at least with the whole point with precious metal recovery is everything adds up. So you basically go at this for, depending on how much you're getting in. I've done 3 pickups for scrap. Most of my first one was like the 10 CRT monitors. I got a fair bit of copper out of that. I haven't taken it back yet, but to give you an idea, this is the first bucket of copper I got out of the yolks, and a little bit of extra there. And this is the other bucket of copper I got out of that. So definitely not bad. So I will be keeping some of that because one way to drop silver out of nitric acid is to add copper. The copper basically replaces the silver in the solution and makes silver drop out, which is kind of cool. At least I thought so. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to probably be doing a run tomorrow on taking back a lot of my scrap steel. It took me a while to actually find a place to actually take it. So I did find one, which is awesome. I'm going to be taking that back because I got an old stove I ended up scrapping out. And I just really want to get rid of it. At this point, I really don't care as much if I get anything for it. I just want it out so I can get it out of the house. But if I can get something for it, I will. So, and I got a bunch of aluminum from old hard drives and things like that I've had before. Yeah, so it's, like I said, everything adds up, and when I do get enough of chips, like IC chips and flat packs and PGA chips, I will process them to recover the gold out of them. Yeah, so hopefully you found that interesting, as I found it fun to do. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them below. I'm going to be redoing the Rabid Canadian intro soon, like I said, so I don't look like I've been lost at frickin' sea for 3 months. And I'm going to be tightening up of basically what we're about a bit. That should be coming out hopefully soon. I want to, it depends. Like I said, I'm trying to speak to my old workplace to see if I can get my job back. If that happens, hopefully we can get some pretty cool stuff going on here pretty quickly, so it's not all scrapping, because it's not what this channel is about. It's a hobby for me. I kind of like the gold recovery aspect of it, so that's, like I said, I find it interesting, and find the whole organic chemistry angle of it is pretty interesting as well. So this is mainly a hobby, so I want to thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, keep in touch for our future videos. Like I said, we got some pretty interesting stuff coming up here right shortly. And thank you for watching. You have a great day.